this. How are you? Welcome back to Walking with Wanzu. My name is Yvette Wanzu, and welcome to my podcast. On here, I like to talk about life experiences that I've had, some of the random thoughts and lessons that I get throughout my journey, and also some of the issues that I see others experiencing that I would like to highlight and bring to light, and just to be able to share with you. So welcome. This is a very warm and safe space where we like to share, and we love on each other, and we encourage one another, and we just mostly learn from one another. Thank you so much for all the feedback that I have gotten over time, all the reviews. I get people who come back to me and tell me that they listen to each and every episode. I get people who come back and give me feedback and tell me that they're learning so much from my content and from me sharing and living off of some of the issues that are highlighted in my journey. And I don't take it for granted, and I am truly, truly grateful. I hope that you're keeping well. I hope that you're keeping safe, even during this season of the pandemic that we're all experiencing and have all been affected by in one way or another. I do know that some of us have lost loved ones during this pandemic. Some of us are dealing with different kinds of loss. We've lost jobs, we've lost friendships, and I just want to tell you from one person to another that it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. And I'm sending you lots and lots of hugs and good vibes. And even if it doesn't seem like there's light at the end of the tunnel, I just want to tell you that you're not alone, and I'm praying with you. I'm keeping you in my prayers and in my thoughts. And do feel free to reach out to me. I am Yvette Wanzu on Instagram. We have our page on Instagram as well, which is Wellness with Wanzu. So do feel free to drop in on there, send me a DM, slide into my DM, send me your thoughts, let me know, and let's talk and communicate and get to connect with one another. Now today I want to talk about something that's very, very close to my heart, and most of the issues that I highlight on here are close to my heart, but this one is particularly close to my heart and very touchy. And so as I even endeavor to be able to share of my journey, one thing that's very important to me is to be able to give of myself authentically and fully and wholly. And so even as I talk about this, I would just like you to know that it's something that's very close to my heart, but something that I feel that I am called to share and would like to be able to share with you. And that's the issue of love and feeling worthy of love. Now, if you're dealing in this in this tricky generation of ours in 2021, dating can be an extreme sport. Giving and receiving love has turned into a very transactional affair, and slowly by slowly, love is losing its purity. Love is losing its warmth, its fuzziness, and just how pure and simple it is. Friendships, even if both romantic and unromantic relationships, even though at this particular moment I'd like us to more so dwell on romantic relationships, are slowly losing the seriousness, I would like to say, or even the importance that it used to have back in the day. And so love affairs and even love relationships have turned into a very transactional kind of thing, whereby it's what do you have to offer, and what do I have to offer, and what do I gain from you kind of thing. But I've always been such a romantic. I've always loved the idea of love. I'm such a huge lover of love. I like the warm, fuzzy feeling that it gives you. I like how peaceful you feel. I like how it just makes you so happy, so genuinely happy. I like how love makes people hopeful. And if you're here and you've dated, and the first few months or the first few phases of dating or getting involved with someone romantically are beautiful, really, for lack of a better word, and it just gives you so much joy and so much anticipation, and that bubble, I can't even explain it. It's just such a beautiful thing to be able to experience. And so once you experience that, then you get into the real relationship, where now the real work begins, where you need to start understanding one another and accepting each other's flaws and being there for one another. Because the thing about being in love and being in that beautiful bubble is that doesn't stop life from happening. Life continues to happen, and there will be sad times, there will be times of grieving, there will be times where there will be disagreements, there will be time where flaws will come out, and all that to say, you still have this deep connection and this deep love for someone. But at the end of the day, you're trying to go through life and navigate the emotions that life brings your way. And so that sometimes can tend to take a toll on relationships. And of course, then we get to instances where someone has been cheated on, or in a relationship you get to a point where things are really, really rocky and you choose to part ways, and that happens. So when I think of things becoming rocky and parting ways, I remember my very first heartbreak and how that felt. And I can tell you for a fact that I honestly did not think that I would recover from it. So during the day, I would try to keep myself busy. I would work, I would do house chores, I would, sink my head in books and do my schoolwork. But at the end of the day, when I was coming into bed and just pausing and getting ready to sleep and rest, that's when it would hit me. That's when all the good memories would come. That's when I'd realize I have no one to text good night. That's when I would, deal with thoughts of what if I had done this differently? What if they had done this differently? Maybe things would have worked out different and we would still be together. And it was just a very painful process to go through. I remember I cried most nights because I was a teenager and I had no business falling in love. I needed to be sinking my head in books. I didn't have many people who I could talk to and tell how I was feeling. And so I navigated that. And even as I continued dating and getting into my 20s, I also was in a relationship, and out of that I got the beautiful, beautiful gift that was my daughter. And I think that's when now my walls were built so high up and my borders were so wide. And I spent a good amount of time, and I want to say years, about 2 years, incredibly heartbroken, incredibly bitter, but also very, very, very enclosed. And I built this wall around myself. First of all, I built this shell around myself, and I built this wall around myself, and I covered it with bitchiness. I covered it with sarcasm. I covered it with laughter as well. And so I just decided that I would guard my heart so much that anyone who tried to access it, whether with ill or even good intentions, had no way of being able to access it. And so I went through that phase, and slowly by slowly I healed, and I started to think about trying to fall in love again, trying to meet new people, and starting to get back into the dating scene. And one of the biggest lessons that I took at that particular time is just to learn to just let things be the way they are, and also to be able to accept that I cannot correct everything. Sometimes things just unfold the way they should, and whatever happens. And that was difficult for me to come into, to make peace with. And so, and that's something that I've been thinking about a lot. And so towards the beginning of this year, I had decided to continue to work on myself, love on myself, do amazing things for myself, and just try as much as possible to be able to fill my cup with so much love and self-acceptance and just a lot of self-love, so that even as I pour out into my daughter and give her love as a parent, and pour out into my job, and even the many people that are around me and that I interact with, I can be able to have so much love for myself that there's an overflow that I can be able to give out into the different roles that I assume in society. And the number of times, because sometimes it's difficult and it takes a certain period of time to be able to unlearn some of the habits that we've had. And so sometimes, even subconsciously, I find myself being very suspicious of people that I try to get to know better, or people who are trying to just come into my life, even now that I'm in my dating journey. So at times I find myself being sarcastic in a bid to be able to protect myself. Sometimes I find myself giving vague answers. So someone will ask me, do you love me? Or do you like hanging out with me? Or do you enjoy my company? Or would you like to hang out again? And I give answers like, maybe, if we'd like to, it would be nice, or perhaps. And I just feel like we are all living on borrowed time, and tomorrow is definitely not guaranteed. I mean, I would love to be there tomorrow and the day after, and to see my grandkids and my grandkids' kids, but perhaps that might not be possible. And so if I think about the opportunities that I have today and those that I had yesterday, I want to be able to think that I seize those opportunities, especially the opportunities to be able to love and to be loved and to experience love in all its glory and in all its wholeness and beauty. And so holding back and guarding my heart and being scared all the time about getting hurt will not do that for me. And so I have decided to give of myself very wholeheartedly. And that doesn't mean that things might not, things that I might not get hurt. I might get hurt in the process. I might even get my heart broken again. But also on the flip side, I might end up having the best love of my life, or the biggest joy, or end up meeting the best person that I never even knew existed, or that was kept for me. Because I'm a huge believer in God's plan for our lives and how He just makes things work for good for us. And so I just want to speak to you, whoever it is that is listening to this, and encourage you and tell you that I don't care, or I don't even know what your past was, but I know that you are a child of the universe. Whoever it is that you perceive God to be, and that you are worthy of love. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what you've done. What matters is that you are worthy of love, and that you being here in itself is such a gift. And I honestly don't know to what extent you have been hurt as a result of giving yourself out there for love, to be loved, and to love as well. And I just want to tell you that every new day that you get is a new opportunity to be able to experience life in beautiful and amazing ways. And so sis, if you're listening to me and there's this guy who's been pursuing you, and you're so hesitant and you're so scared to be able to put yourself out there, this is me telling you this is a sign and this is your opportunity. Please put yourself out there. Date once again. Open up your heart for love. Feel good. Enjoy it. It's there. It's meant to be enjoyed, and it's a beautiful thing. I want to talk to that brother who's been banned so many times, and you're just there telling yourself, women are trash. I don't even want to deal with them. And I just want to say that I know that sometimes we can have unpleasant experiences, but love is a beautiful thing. Whoever it is that you choose to love. Love knows no gender, love knows no boundaries. It's just what it is. It's just love, and it's a beautiful, caring feeling. And so I just wanted to drop by and share this with you and tell you that from wherever it is that you're listening to this, that you are worthy of love. And as you navigate through life and go through and doing what it is that you're doing, I hope you find the courage to be able to explore this beautiful thing that is love, and that no matter how many times you get burnt, or if you do actually end up finding it and excelling in it in the first try, I hope you never give up on it, because love is life and love is beautiful, and everyone is worthy of love, to receive and to give love and to experience it in its fullest and most wholesome point, or in its most wholesome form. God bless you. I hope this spoke to you. Please do reach out to me. Continue to share my content, and I will see you on the next one. I'm sending you so much love and so many hugs and good vibes. God bless you. God loves you, and so do I. Bye-bye.